Good Thursday morning, or Friday Eve as we call it here. It's 8 o'clock on this September 18th. Thanks so much for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Stephannie Joseph.
And I'm Christian Garzone. We have 2 full hours to get through, so let's run down what we have brewing for you this morning.
Well, get ready to step into the Twilight Zone this weekend. Serling Fest is back in Binghamton, celebrating the classic show's creator right in his hometown. This morning, we will get a preview of the upcoming 3-day tribute event and all the special things they have planned for fans.
Then it's time for another From the Ground Up with our resident garden guy, Mark McLean. He'll be breaking down how the recent drought conditions are impacting grape season. That's going to be a good one.
For sure. And later, some magic is heading to the Fringe Festival. This morning, comedian and magician Tim Motley will join us live in studio to preview his show, Barry Potter and the Magic of Wizardry. He's got one final show happening this weekend, so we'll see if he has any tricks up his sleeve for us.
Oh, that was a good one, yeah. But before that, let's get a check of the forecast because we're still seeing some beautiful temperatures out there, with a ton of sunshine. Marty, take it away.
Yeah, that's it. That's going to be the case today. Back into some sunshine, some very comfortable numbers in store for us. You can see that sun already working in pretty well at this point. And we're starting off with many places in the 50s. We were actually in the 40s for the official number at the airport just a couple hours ago. So already we're rising up into the mid 50s thanks to that sunshine. That is going to have that fast effect on temperatures throughout the day today. That's going to help to put us up to about 78 by noon. We'll be somewhere in the very lower 80s as we go through the afternoon. So a pretty significant temperature increase from morning into the afternoon. You have to consider the fact that we were in the 40s overnight last night. So it's going to be from the 40s into the 80s by the afternoon. So again, a good increase there. Tomorrow, a little different weather for us. We have a front that's going to move through overnight tonight. A few more clouds build in. Some of those linger into early tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be quite a bit cooler, 67 for that high, but then back to near 70 with some sun on Saturday. Sunday, the warmer of the 2 weekend days, could even be near 80 by Monday of next week. And likely a couple showers, maybe a thunderstorm into the first part of next week. It's one of the better chances of rain that we have seen in a little bit of time. So chances increases for that for the longer term. But a warm day today, plenty of sun. Enjoy the nice weather while we have it in place.
A 10 out of 10, I would say.
Very much so. Yes, beautiful day coming up for us.
Thank you, Marty.
Okay.
All right, let's go off the top now and start with some things that have piqued our interest this morning. I will start things off today with a stroll down memory lane. Take a moment to think about your favorite game from childhood. All right, Christian, do you have one in mind?
Favorite game from childhood? No, I played outside a lot, so like sticks and stuff like that.
Okay,
so
that's
board
good.
Game. I like Battleship.
Oh, okay.
I did dig that.
I may have some good news for you. I had a bunch as well. Connect 4 is on that list of favorites. Maybe you like to get active, go outside like Christian. So cornhole or a scooter could be on your list.
Okay.
Well, all of these iconic games, Battleship included, are finalists for the Toy Hall of Fame. The Strong National Museum of Play announcing the 12 contenders for this year's Hall of Fame. Besides the 3 that I mentioned, Battleship, Catan, Furby, Slime, their choices, Trivial Pursuit, Tickle Me Elmo, you just saw that, the Spirograph, and Snow are also finalists. And yes, you heard me right, I did say snow. And yes, like the precipitation, you can vote now through September 24th for your pick as part of a Player's Choice ballot this year. How exciting. And your input, it does actually matter. The Museum of Play site says you'll be like a member of the committee. The 3 toys with the most votes from you will join the top 3 chosen by the selection committee. So it'll be a collective vote from all of the public's voting. I checked and you can only make one choice. I did cast my ballot, so go and make your voice heard. It's really easy. Final inductees will be announced in November by the Strong Museum. Really cool that that's special to our area.
Oh, yeah.
Last year's winners, if I'm not mistaken, were My Little Pony, Transformers action figures, and Phase 10. So a very iconic list already.
Remember the Tickle Me Elmo phase? I mean, maybe I was more of a teenager, but my dad, in true dad joke form, said, "Tickle me elbow," and he'd tickle his elbow around that whole time.
Yeah. I remember that the toy itself, because it's the one that like falls and like bends in two.
I was like maybe 12 or so I was too cool for Tickle Me Elmo back then, but I think it did some things and it would tickle the belly or something.
Had mixed reviews from some kids, but Connect 4 was always a favorite. I always say that I'm really good at it, and I tried the big version at Dave & Buster's.
Oh, yeah. Dave
so
&
I was
Buster's,
good at that one.
Yeah, no, they've got a bunch of stuff. Connect 4, it's so simple, but it's so much fun, and you can do it with other people. Obviously, that's the whole idea. I have that Indiana Jones Monopoly at home.
No way.
Yeah. I just I just got my dog though, so I have nobody to play with. So it's kind of wah wah. Here we go. No, let's bring it back up here. I didn't mean to go down that.
Well, there's
route.
some places like Dice Versa and Nerdvana.
What's Dice Versa?
What?
What's
You
that?
haven't heard of it?
No.
It's downtown, and it's like a gaming bar in a sense.
Okay,
So there's
yeah.
like special nights, like Magic the Gathering. They had a night there. I think that's a weekly thing, maybe often. You'll have to check the website for more details. But yeah, games is like their thing there. And then they'll have themed drinks. Nerdvana, I think, more like food-based, but it's really cool. You can choose stuff on a menu. It's all virtual. It's great.
Yeah, a lot of breweries. I know Reinvention in Manchester, and you've got Sager Beer Works in the city. They have stacks of board games that they bring out, and it's a lot of fun. It's great to have that sort of face-to-face interaction with people. I mean, we're so over like the COVID stuff, and it's great to have that
I know.
connection with people.
It'll be exciting. We'll have to wait till November when we see the actual finalists, but a lot of really good choices.
Yeah, indeed, Stephannie. Let's move on to my story now. Humpty Dumpty took a big fall. Now police in New Jersey are hoping to crack the case. A big statue of the nursery rhyme icon was ripped from a mini golf park and dumped down the street. Police are looking for 2 men caught on video around 4 in the morning on September 11th, stopping at the Ocean Putt Golf, climbing over the fence, grabbing Humpty Dumpty, rocking him back and forth, and ripping Humpty off its foundation and walking away with it. Humpty, again, was tossed away nearby. Again, police want to crack this case. A little joke 2 times in a row there. Even better second time around. If you know who these alleged nursery rhyme vandals are, please reach out to the Cape May, New Jersey police. I think did we see him walk by already?
I think so.
Like far in the back.
It's far in the...
But there's video evidence.
Get your face and lips right up to the TV and take a look. But,
Yeah.
squinting real hard, but they're in there. They're a couple that, I think they're just having a little bit of fun. But it's probably something that's going to cost that golf course a lot of money to repair.
Yeah.
And Humpty Dumpty had a great. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, it's coming back to me. It's
A little out of order.
Yeah, a little out. Yeah, a little out of order.
Yeah.
Don't shame me on TV. Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine. Do you think it was heavy by any chance?
I would imagine probably not. I think it's probably hollow inside. It probably just easily ripped it off. And actually, it's smaller than I thought it was when I saw it on my computer screen. Now that I see it here, it looks not that big.
Yeah.
But still, kids, I think, just having fun, and maybe drinks were involved, who knows? And they thought it was a good idea at the time. But, they probably regret it right now because it's going to cost money to get that put back up, and it's just meant for fun and the whole spirit of the putt-putt golf course or whatever. So
Definitely not something worth facing charges over. So
yeah, I know. What are you doing time for? Well,
yeah.
a couple of years ago, I ripped a Humpty Dumpty statue off a putt-putt course.
Yeah, so let's make better choices all around.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can figure out. They have the statue back, yes.
I think they do. They just got to stick it back on there and glue it in tight. And
So that'll take some work. But yeah.
Some work.
just Be mindful as we go out there. Respect others' property.
Exactly.
All right, stick around. We have so much more to get to here on Arc Rochester, including when we come back, we're checking in with Chris Lopez, who's live from Eastview Mall, helping with the Make-A-Wish Wishathon.
And don't forget, you can watch us on the go or wherever you are by streaming us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Arc Rochester is back right after this. Stay tuned. back. It's a day filled with hope and generosity. An annual event returns to help make dreams come true for local children battling critical illnesses.
The Make-A-Wish Wishathon of Rochester is underway at the main court inside Eastview Mall, raising money to turn those wishes into reality.
Our Chris Lopez is there live right now, keeping track of the progress. Chris, good morning. How are you, brother?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm doing great. Phone lines are open, so please call that number. They need your help. The phone lines close, I believe, at 6 p.m. That's when Karen Edwards is taking over at 5, 5:30, and 6. Now, I have two members of the new leadership with me, Erica and Alyssa. Thank you for joining us. Hopping up off the phones, how has it been this morning? Because I've seen you guys there since like 5, pretty much.
Yeah, it's been good. We've got a few calls so far, but can definitely have more people calling us throughout the day. So please give us a call.
Yes, we got one now. New Leadership Council, though, is that brand new, or are you guys brand new to the council?
It's a junior board, so it's
Okay.
the younger board that we're currently focusing on collecting donations, and we're always looking for more engagement into the board. We're looking for more engagement in just volunteering. We need more wish granters in Rochester, so if anybody's interested, we'd love your help.
And what inspired you guys to join the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Because you could have chose any other foundation, you could have chose any other job.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I had a friend who had a wish granted by Make-A-Wish, and I didn't really know too much about it until about 3 or 4 years ago. I had a friend who told me that she volunteered with it, and I was like, I didn't even know we had a chapter in Western New York, so I got involved. So now I do wish granting. I'm on the new Leadership Council, and I also help with our gala that we have in the spring as well.
Okay, what about you? What inspired you to join Make-A-Wish?
I was looking to get involved in a board and just looking at Make-A-Wish's mission and seeing how impactful the wishes are to help the children. Having something to look forward to get through their treatments and everything it's just really special, and I wanted to do something that I felt like I was providing a lot of help to, so I joined the board years back, and I'm currently the chair of the new Leadership Council, so it's a great organization to be a part of.
And you guys have done such great work for such a very long time, but you guys are going to bring in new ideas to the board. That's why they brought you guys in. What do you want to see change, or what do you want to see going forward? If you guys had carte blanche, what would it look like?
Well, I think with us, we try to think of things that will attract like all generations and, new ideas, getting really creative. So we try to bring all of that into the new Leadership Council.
What about you?
And bringing in our different networks around Rochester. We're all from different professions, so we all have different networks. So reaching out on LinkedIn and Instagram and all the different social medias just to try to help bring more awareness to the mission.
And how can people, if they donate, that's great, but how can they help out in other ways?
So we do have the new Leadership Council. We have wish granting, so we can always use more wish granters. And we have the Make-A-Wish Gala in the spring. So there's different committees that people can help with to help raise funds for that as well.
And it may seem self-explanatory, but I do have to ask, what does a wish granter do?
So we grant wishes in a lot of different ways. So it could be like a shopping trip, it could be traveling somewhere, it could be a celebrity encounter. So there's a lot of different ways to grant a wish.
Is there a wish that you've granted that stands out to you where you're like, that was an absolutely cool wish?
Yeah, I had one do a celebrity encounter, and it was really cool. It was for a kids' TV show, and the cast was great to my wish kid and their family, and it was a show that I watched growing up too, so I was kind of fangirling while supporting. So, yeah.
And pitch to people right now. They're watching. They haven't made the call yet. I don't know why they haven't made it yet. What's the pitch to them to make that call and donate whatever they can?
Call us now. We could use any donations, and go to rochesterwishes.com and donate anything you'd like.
There we go. Thank you guys for joining us. I'll let you guys go back to the phones. We need it. We're gonna be here until about 9 o'clock. Please call that phone number that is on your screen. They are doing great work. I've seen cool wishes like they want to meet the Chicago Bears, Disney cruises. We were talking about that. Makeovers for their rooms, all sorts of things, and you can help make that happen by just calling, donating anything you can. Back to you guys in studio.
It's all really cool.
Yeah.
Like, those wishes are amazing. I wanted to know the TV show. Maybe she'll tell you a little bit later, Chris, but That is amazing.
I'll get that for you.
Thank you, Chris.
And it goes back to like 1980, Make-A-Wish, 80, 81-ish. I think there was a kid who inspired the Make-A-Wish. He wanted to be a police officer, had leukemia, and the police officers granted it, and that sort of was that propelled the whole Make-A-Wish forward. And I think the next year they really started full force in 81 or so, I believe.
Making a lasting difference.
It really does for these youngsters. It's a fantastic organization.
Yeah. Hey, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's this morning's weather trivia.
Mark McLean will join us coming up right after this. Stay right there.
Welcome back at 8:20. Meteorologist Mark McLean joining us now with a look at today's warm and dry forecast, as well as some weather trivia.
Yeah, we could use a drink out there, could we?
Yeah.
Right?
What kind of drink?
Well, it's not quite Friday yet, but hey, we're low on the rain. There's no doubt about that. This goes back to early July. We have only had about 4 inches of rain or so since that entire stretch, and that's officially at the airport. So when you look at this and you look at the month of September, now we'll bring it forward. Check out the trivia for today. We've only had a very low amount of rain, I'll say that. Now look at September, and this is the all-time driest or lowest amounts of rain for the month of September in Rochester history. And you've got 4 choices up here.
Oh.
Is that the driest in 1928, just 3/4 of an inch of rain? In 1964, was it 0.58, 0.39 in 1961, or 0.28 in 1960?
A lot of 1960s in there.
Yeah, we had one. What was it? The weather satellite. That's right. The Tyros one we had was about a week or 2 ago. We were talking about the first weather satellite. Remember that up in the sky? So we've had a couple of tenths of an inch of rain so far this September. Wow. What do you say?
I've narrowed it down to 3 options.
3 of them? Yeah. What do you call the one? The one is the ding dong? Is that what you got? Yeah.
That's the wrong answer.
That's the absolute wrong one?
Then you have 2 distractors from the right answer.
Okay.
So.
Well, in school, I used to just circle C, and I would pass the test. So I'll go with C.
It's funny because on Facebook, we posted it to Facebook. Somebody always says, if you don't know, go with C.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, they always say that. I don't know what it is about
There
that.
must be some statistical, slight advantage of if you don't know and pick C, you get like a 1% chance better.
Hey, I get like a 65. Oh, darn it, Garzone passed again. Stick with C, baby.
No harm, no foul.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
There's a good joke in there. I'll tell you after the break. All right. So check this out. We're going to get a fresh report from the drought monitor in just moments. So I'll show you this again at 9 a.m. But the latest drought report has us in moderate drought for western New York. And there are spots up into New England that are actually in extreme drought, parts of New Hampshire. And you see that orange color, the severe drought into parts of Maine. So these are the areas that really could use some rain. And the month of September, we're over 1.5 inches below normal. This is the 12th straight day without rain for Rochester.
That's, oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had longer stretches. It's unusual, but not unprecedented to have something like this. And there is a small chance next week. So Monday, Tuesday, and this is going to be isolated, and you're lucky if you catch it, but we did raise the chance of rain up just a smidge there for Monday and Tuesday. But this weekend, if you have outdoor plans, you're looking pretty good for Saturday and Sunday. It's large high pressure again, and cool high pressure coming in from Canada. That's going to keep it nice and stable this weekend. But 54, we started in the 40s this morning, upper 40s for a lot of spots. With that southwest breeze at 5, you're going to notice a lot of dew out on the lawn this morning. Our satellite radar is, basically clear. We started with clouds yesterday from this system that's now well off to our east, but that system continues to trend that direction. So we'll find a pretty good amount of sunshine into this afternoon. Now, what we'll watch weather-wise for later tonight, this is a very weak cold front. There's no rain showing up on this front, but there will be a few clouds as it moves on through later tonight into Friday morning. So that will have an impact on the temperature towards the end of the week for Friday. Watch the forecast map. Looking pretty good here into the evening. That front lazily comes across the area. Again, it's not in any big hurry. 4, 5, 6 o'clock, there's some clouds to start off tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow afternoon, there's that gigantic high up in Canada. That's going to create a nice dry weekend for you. But the planner, get the coffee going. 78 degrees at lunchtime. It's going to be a mild day. Low 80s this afternoon with that sunshine. And this is a good tailgate. Oh,
Yeah.
there he is. What's he climbing over tonight? What do you say, Josh Allen? What's he gonna hurdle here? Oh. Some of the dolphins, right? Oh, I got ravens up there. It's dolphins. 60s
Push the fish.
for the tailgate.
They're mammals, I thought.
Yeah, I guess so, right? 57, mainly clear sky. It's going to be a mild night for us. And temperature on the extended has upper 60s for Friday, 70 degrees for Saturday. We'll see temperatures in the upper 70s for Sunday, near 80 by Monday as fall begins. How about that? The autumnal equinox. Do we have that countdown? We do have the countdown.
We do.
4 days for the fall lovers.
gosh.
Pumpkin spice everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Upper
I've
70s.
already started.
You've already
I've been
started?
making my pumpkin loaf
Yeah.
every week so far for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And the pumpkin spice is already being welcomed
Yeah.
into the home. So
Don't forget my pumpkin salad sandwiches I want to make with the prunes, the onions, the mayonnaise, and the pumpkin.
That would be one heck of an ARC segment.
Don't you guys know about
Wouldn't
pumpkin
it?
salad sandwich?
You're going to have to wait for Scott and Sandy and do a first try Friday on that one. Okay?
the raisins
Yeah.
and the mayo and the
Prunes?
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
How about pumpkin pie? Does it have to be on the table at Thanksgiving or no?
No.
No?
sweet
Skip it?
potato is
Apple pie?
Yeah.
apple
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's a lock.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, my mom's from England.
Oh, okay.
So Thanksgiving for us is kind of hit or miss. And my
Yeah.
dad, of course, Italian American. He's, hey, how about some stuffed shells, garlic bread?
That sounds great.
It's
I'll
great,
take
but it's
that.
not very traditional, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but-
I'll take some grape pie. The grapes are in. We're talking grapes at 9:30 on From the Ground Up. We were out at Casa Larga and just talking about how this drought has impacted the growing season, and it's had an impact on the size of some of the fruit for the apples, for the grapes, and I'm sure for others as well. But we kind of really get into the weeds at 9:30 and talk about different varieties and what to expect.
Do you think it'll be a rainy October? Like, are the conditions kind of
It's hard to say. You know what breaks up a pattern like this is usually a large hurricane. Now there's a wave that's formed out in the central Atlantic, so we at least have a system out there, and it is a fairly large in terms of its size. The cloud coverage yesterday was almost 1,000 miles across, but it doesn't look like it's going to have any impact on the United States. It looks like it's going to go east of Bermuda and hook back up into the North Atlantic. But those systems, when they deliver that kind of energy into the northern stream, they move into the northern hemisphere. That does impact the weather patterns. It increases the size of some of the waves that we watch in the atmosphere. So, will it have a huge impact down the road and break this up? It's hard to say right now, but yeah, we'll have a better idea probably in about 7 to 10 days.
Okay, not too long.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, thank you.
Yep.
All right, don't go anywhere. We have much more to get to here on ARC Rochester.
We're back after this.
That music. Good Thursday morning. Thanks for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. The Make-A-Wish Wishathon of Rochester is back for its 4th year, bringing the community together to help turn dreams into reality for local children facing critical illnesses.
The fundraiser is taking place at Eastview Mall in Victor, where every donation brings another wish closer to coming true.
Chris Lopez is there live this morning, tracking the progress and sharing some inspiring stories. Chris, good morning, friend.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, they cannot do it without your help, so please call that phone number. Phone lines open at 6 a.m. this morning. They're going to close at 6 p.m. Our own Karen Edwards will be here from 5 o'clock until 6 o'clock monitoring that progress. And they can't do it alone, and they need doctors like Dr. David. I know he has a last name. He told me not to say that. But Dr. David, thank you for joining us this morning. You're a doctor at Golisano Children's Hospital. I have to ask you, and we didn't finish the question before we hopped on here. I asked you, how many wishes do you think you've referred to the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Because you said you have been partnering with Make-A-Wish for 30 years.
Absolutely. And, probably too many to count, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the hundreds.
Hundreds. And what kind of impact do you think that it has on those kids?
Oh, it's huge. It's not just a one-time thing. I mean, it's literally the gift that keeps on giving. For one thing, there's the joy for a child to be able to figure out, gosh, what do I want? What do I wish for? And there's joy in that, and that's a process. And then there's the anticipation of what they've chosen. And then there's the gift itself.
And do you think, knowing that the wish is going to eventually be granted, takes them away from their everyday reality of living with something like cancer? Even though the wish hasn't been granted yet, do you think it helps them, that anticipation you were talking about?
Oh, there is no question about it. I mean, treating kids who are seriously ill and treating kids with, particularly kids with cancer, as I so often do, taking good care of them is more than just throwing medicine and chemotherapy and radiation at them. It's making sure that they feel normal, that they have things to look forward to like any child does. It makes a huge difference in their lives and the lives of their families.
I wanted to get to that. That was my second question on this. How do you think that it benefits mom, it benefits dad to know that their kid, even though they don't have cancer, but their kid, they're going through the same stuff? How do you think it benefits the family?
In the same way as in the kid, I think there's joy that they can give their child this gift and partner with Make-A-Wish to do that. And then there's the joy themselves. I mean, they might get to go on a trip. They get to see a treehouse or a playhouse be built or a room being made over. It's a family joy.
And where do you think the world of treating kids with cancer is eventually going to go?
Well, our goal is that our services will no longer be needed. And it's not going to happen overnight, but slowly, steadily, we're getting there. For example, there are a lot of children we used to have to clobber with chemotherapy week after week after week through an IV, and now many of those children we treat with a pill once or twice a day. So we're getting there.
And that's amazing that you guys are working on that research as well as referring kids. You guys are just doing so much. What's one of your favorite things about the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
It is that it brings joy, it brings happiness to a family that is going through so much. It's hard to put into words how much stress this puts, physical and mental stress, on a child and family. I don't think I even know what they're going through. And so if we can shine some light in their lives, it's just profound what a difference it makes.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the work that you do. Please call that number that is on your screen. They can't do it without your help like Dr. David here, the people answering the phones, the people at Make-A-Wish. They've been doing this since 1992 here in Western New York, granting almost 4,000 total wishes. They can grant much more with your help. I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio for now.
That is for sure. I mean, what more do you need to know to give that number a call and donate?
Yeah, definitely. What a great location, too. A lot of foot traffic there. I can see why they picked Eastview Mall for that.
For sure. All right, Chris, thank you.
Stick around. We have much more to get to here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we will sit down with Dr. Elizabeth Murray to discuss ways adults can navigate through conversations with children.
And don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back after this. 5:38 this Thursday morning. With recent events and graphic content circulating online, many parents have raised concerns about what their children may be seeing and what's the best way to address these difficult topics at home.
Yeah, to help us understand how to navigate these tough conversations, we're joined this morning by Dr. Elizabeth Murray from Garzone Children's Hospital. Doctor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So it's got to be tough sometimes for seeing things on television, probably more so on social media with younger kids. How do they deal with that? How do they process that? How can you talk to youngsters about what they're seeing?
Well, and it's really going to be different depending on the age of the child. You know, certainly our hope is the youngest children, even up through the middle school age, are not seeing it at all. They might be hearing about it, and I think having those conversations, kind of starting with what have you heard, what do you know about it, what are your questions do you have about it, but then, you know, talking with your teenager and ahead of time, you know, kind of having a plan of if bad news is happening, if something awful is happening. As a parent, we can say to our teenager, I need you to take a break. I need you to not be on there. There's some things that we can talk about, we need to talk about, we need to understand why they happened, but we don't have to see them. Understanding doesn't necessarily have to go along with actually seeing the violence itself.
Absolutely. And I know that some platforms put some safeguards in place to try to take down any violence or images that people may see online. But what are some steps that parents can take themselves within these different platforms?
Well, we hope that the platforms are taking the steps to take them down, but usually there's a lag, you know, so we know that recent acts of violence have been seen millions and millions of times. So you're right, the parents and the kids together need to come together to make sure they're using the technology to protect themselves as best as they can. I think we have learned that we cannot count on the platforms to do the work for us. Right. With regards to the chats that are allowed, the posting of various material. We can't rely on them to help us. And so making sure we understand the devices and understand the parental controls, the age controls, starting very young with our child's first exposure to this technology. You know, tablets are meant to be at the kitchen table. When you're 5 years old, you know, you need to have a parent right there by your side as you're navigating with strict rules and strict controls and consistent conversation about what game are you playing? What are you doing? Can we do this together? How does it make you feel when you're interacting with this game? What if we put this away for a couple of hours? How does that make you feel? Are you anxious that you're not around your device? You know, having all of these conversations right from very early on is going to be helpful. You know, we're at a phase where we have a lot of gaps in understanding, right? Our kids are probably a lot better at this than we are as the grown-ups, and then the tech industry is much, much better at all of this, and, you know, AI is coming along too. So there's a lot for parents to learn, but there are parental controls, there are device controls, there are age recommendations for different apps, and we need to take those seriously, but we need to be right by our children's side, and they'll show us what they can do.
It's crazy that you think about when I was growing up, it was like a couple TVs in the house. You just click the button off, don't rent that movie at the video store. Now it's this whole new world of endless opportunities, and that tablet has the whole world on it.
It can, unless you turn some of that off.
Of course,
and and that I think that is the point. And it's tricky too because you know, if you look at the App Store, there's something like 80 or 90,000 apps that are listed as educational. None of them have been tested, but you can see how a parent trying to do the right thing, saying, oh, well, this is an educational app. Turns out a lot of the things about that app are meant to draw the child in further, maybe do the in-app purchases. So again, that's why being there right by your child's side so you can learn about it together so you know what they're on, and then asking them the questions.
The digital market is ever growing, and I think it may be easy to say, all right, we just need to do away with all the devices. But in order to make sure that kids are educated about this, because this is a huge part of the world, what are some steps to kind of address the pushback that may come with this from any kids who are like, why are you doing this? I don't want to answer this question.
That's right. There's a lot of, but my friends are. You know, and I worry about your question a lot just because I think that removing phones from school is very beneficial, but they come home from school and they get the phones back. So we need to make sure they're still having that education starting at a very young age about what it means to be a digital citizen. Again, our children will teach us when they're ready to use those devices, and that's going to change. You know, different stressors in your child's life might mean that right now they need to step away from spending time on screen, and they really need that physical activity to kind of get out the back to school worries or whatever they might be facing. And so, you know, we need to make sure that they have those opportunities to have those open conversations with us right from the beginning. And it's just like, you know, I want this toy because everybody else has it. I want the sweater because everybody else has it. I want this app because everybody else has it. And I think if we look at being a digital citizen as a skill we have to acquire, you kind of realize, oh yeah, it does take a little bit of work. It's not just, that looks like fun, go for it.
Yeah.
And did you give an age range in there, like maybe 5 years old, 6 years old? I guess it depends on the child and the parent.
It totally depends, and it depends on what you're doing. You know, certainly FaceTiming with grandparents who live in another state is appropriate and great for any age, you know, and you can, in your family, you might decide, you know, free reign. You can always FaceTime your grandparents, you know, and that's screen time. That might be taking away activity, but it's really important. And then, you know, we know that children's brains before they enter school, you know, they're hardwired for learning. And so if they get in that pattern of the rapid response, the quick, the short attention span of things, that's not necessarily so great for them. So we really, you know, they need to learn how to use the devices because they will be using some of them in school. But with regards to social media apps, things like that, those are really, we're talking about much older teenager years before they can do that. Games, there's a huge variety. Some are great, some are not. Take a look. Healthychildren.org and the American Academy of Pediatrics has this great social media app explainer for parents, the digital media dictionary.
Yeah.
And so you can go and look, and it'll tell you what every social media app is capable of. So you know, does it have you know, behind-the-scenes direct message function? Who is allowed on it? What are their safety controls? So that's a great resource for parents to take a look at.
That definitely is a great resource. I'm also wondering, in terms of parents maybe noticing some changes in their children, maybe they know that they're using a social media platform and are aware that some things have transpired online. How do they approach those conversations, or what signs do they start to look for?
You know, I think timing is everything. You know, parents a lot of times will talk about, you know, those car conversations. You know, we're so tempted as soon as our kid comes home from school, how's your day? What did you learn? What did you do? Mm-hmm. But a lot of times they need a little space and a little break. And then you can kind of see, you know, is your child, do they seem anxious? Do they seem more worried about something? Are they asking you questions about stuff that you're not used to hearing them ask about? But I think also just calling it out and saying, you know, there was some really scary stuff that happened today. What do you know about it? What have you heard? What are your friends saying about it? What are your thoughts? And what questions do you have for me? And so that you are now the trusted source of information for your child. And then you can navigate other potentially online trusted sources as well together.
Very good information, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And hey, stick around because when ARC Rochester returns, we are taking a closer look at the key meeting happening today at the CDC regarding the future of vaccine recommendations for children. Doc Murray will be around for that, so stick around.
We want to take you behind the story this morning as a CDC panel will meet today to talk about vaccines currently recommended for children.
It comes following criticism after Health Secretary RFK Jr. replaced several members of the advisory panel.
For more on what this means and the impact these decisions could potentially have, we're joined again by Dr. Elizabeth Murray. Doctor, thank you for sticking with us.
Sure, happy to be here.
Yeah.
So just to start off, we are hearing about this meeting that's supposed to go on. What have you heard about what exactly will be discussed about those childhood vaccines?
So this is a committee that historically has met on a regular basis, and they always release their agenda and their supporting materials ahead of time of the meeting. In this case, some of the materials have been released, and the agenda appears to show that they're going to be talking about a combination of MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella, and varicella, or the chickenpox vaccine. Those can be given separately, or they can be given in a combination. They're going to be talking about febrile seizures, so seizures that happen in children in the setting of having a fever as it relates to the combination vaccine. They're also going to be addressing the hepatitis vaccine that's given to newborns and the COVID-19 vaccination as well. There is still a lot of rumors circulating about what might be happening, but some of the sources on that seem to be pretty good. So concerned that they'll be changing the hepatitis vaccine schedule and perhaps dramatically limiting access to the COVID-19 vaccine based off of some VAERS data, a database.
Gotcha.
Is that more to do with the COVID-19, this when it becomes like a serious illness? Is it less in children for COVID-19? Is that why they might wean off the vaccine for children?
No, we know that hundreds of children have died from COVID. We know that long COVID can affect children as well. We know that there was other side effects to the COVID that children experienced that adults didn't necessarily experience. We know that the population of children that are most seriously affected are those under 2. And I would see that on a regular basis in my career, and often hear from parents, wait, what do you mean my child has COVID? They're so sick. And so I think kind of that talking point has occurred that people think, oh, well, kids don't get sick from COVID, because earlier on, children did not face as severe burden of disease as adults did. But as time went on, we definitely started to see children be very seriously ill from it. It is unclear exactly what the claims are going to be. It is believed that it's going to be that they are going to claim that many children died from the vaccine based on a database that is a screening tool, not a database of confirmation that things did occur, the VAERS database. So we'll have to wait and see, but that is the concern, that they're going to say that the vaccine cannot be given to anybody under 75.
And we did hear guidance not too long ago, I want to say May, around that time, where RFK Jr. had said that those vaccines would not be recommended, COVID-19 vaccines specifically, would not be recommended for pregnant women or for children. And I know that there was some pushback in that regard. As a physician yourself, what was your reaction to hearing that?
Well, the vaccine schedule has been around for a long, long, long time. And different organizations and different content experts have always been involved. The American Academy of Pediatrics and pediatric infectious disease experts have always been involved in planning that schedule. And for that agency and those experts to come out and say, this is concerning to us, does not follow the science as we know it, the data as we know it, that was certainly concerning to me. And the American Academy of Pediatrics has since put out their own vaccine schedule that has been supported by numerous other health agencies now. And that is the schedule I'm going to follow for my own children, my own family. And I think that's what we're starting to see in various states throughout the country, saying we are going to follow the American Academy of Pediatrics schedule for right now. There has been a big division that has occurred, but the science really hasn't changed. And so we need to continue to look to the experts who are living in that science every day. And those are often pediatricians and the infectious disease doctors that have always been the content experts. We just need to hear their voices. And unfortunately, with the change of the committee, the ACIP committees, a lot of those voices were lost.
And, you know, with COVID-19, sort of a novel virus, sort of the science was evolving as we went along. And there's still wiggle room here, right, for changes to come. Things might happen along the way where we have to adjust fire a little bit, right?
Well, right. So the germ itself was new to us. And so, yes, we were learning as we were going about the germ. The vaccine technology was not necessarily new. That had been in the works, and we've seen that for other types of germs as well. It was just new that we were able to bring it together so quickly. And what I mean by that is the world worked on it at the same time together instead of a stepwise fashion, which we normally need to do to have the resources all come together. That's what allowed the speed, not cutting corners or doing things the way we don't normally do. That whole process happened in a timeline that we would normally expect. It's just there was the funding to do it all together. And so, yes, as things change, as things evolve, we learn new things every day. And the germ seems to be changing as time goes on, just like we need to get a flu shot every year because the flu changes. It appears that COVID is going to evolve and change a little bit, and some seasons might be more dangerous and some seasons might be less dangerous. We don't know, but we know that if we can protect ourselves to hopefully prevent hospitalization, prevent severe disease in a safe way, then let's do it.
Yeah, those hospital rooms were very crowded for a very long time.
And they still are,
Yeah, indeed they are. Yes, ma'am.
And that advisory panel committee, that is expected to start at 10 a.m., so just after ARC Rochester, something we will, of course, keep an eye on. Thank you so much, Dr. Murray, for coming in, for giving some more perspective on this.
Thank you very much. Stick around. Much more here on ARC Rochester, so stay tuned.
And we're back.
You don't need to go broke to break out an elegant appetizer. And these crab canopies are fantastic. Whether you're wearing a hoodie, pajamas, or an evening gown, they satisfy every need you got, if you know what I'm saying. Now, the base of this thing is an English muffin. Now, this is actually a muffin. English muffins are really crumpets. They're spongy bread, they're thin, and they're perfect for what we're gonna do. So one thing you should have in your kitchen are kitchen shears. These are perfect as a tool to do anything, cutting up herbs, cutting up pizza, and we're gonna cut up our English muffins into quarters. Now, this dish will satisfy even the pickiest of eaters. My sister, now she's pretty particular and she's pretty fussy. Doesn't like any seafood, but she loves these. They're also easy to throw in the freezer, and we'll tell you about that. But let's put the ingredients in here first. We've got 1 stick of softened butter. We've got 8 ounces of crab meat. Now, you can use these out of the cans. You can also use imitation crab meat if you want. Whatever is gonna work for your team and your budget and your kitchen. Now, we also have 8 ounces of cheese spread. This is cheddar cheese spread, sharp cheddar. You can use Old English, but this stuff works really well, and this gets a really nice little tang and zip into this thing. We've got 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. We've got a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. Actually, my dad made this, so more family stuff in there. and a half teaspoon of seasoned salt, which is basically salt with some garlic powder, black pepper, white pepper, cayenne pepper. That's what seasoned salt is. We're also gonna put in about a half teaspoon of hot sauce. That won't make them spicy, but it'll bring out the other flavors. And then also to add some acid to the crab and all the good creaminess, we're gonna squeeze in the juice of 1 lemon wedge. And then just stir it all up. Now we mix things up. Just gonna take one of your little quarter of the English muffins and spread a nice healthy scoop of it on there. And then we're gonna throw them in the oven, 375 for 10 to 12 minutes. When they come out of the oven, they are going to be fantastic. Golden brown, crispy on the bottom. For us, we like some fresh parsley on top, just because it looks cool. And remember, when you're making these, put some in your freezer. They're great to pull out last minute. Let's say your husband comes home, your buddies come in, you weren't expecting them, something quick in the oven. From the spatchcock family to your family, crab canopies, any good night.
Thursday morning, 9:02 on this September 18th. Thanks so much for staying with us here on our Rochester. I'm Stephannie Joseph.
And I'm Christian Garzone. Mark is back once again for another look at the forecast. We'll also the weather trivia for today as well. Yeah, it's still high and dry today.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, we always get the drought report. Thursday morning, which is kind of nice. We're still on the air for that here on ARC, and we're going to show you that. The drought obviously expanding the footprint through New England and parts of especially northern New England. But our question of the day here, our weather trivia, actually kind of revolves around that. It's talking about dry September weather for Rochester, and the question today, this September has been very dry in western New York. Do you know what the all-time lowest amount of rain is for the month of September in Rochester? And here was the choices. We had 3/4 of an inch of rain back in 1928, 58/100 of an inch in 1964, 39/100 in 1961, or 28/100 of an inch, just over a 1/4 inch there in 1960. What do you say?
I know Christian is saying C.
There's lots of D's. Lisa, Cheryl, Pamela, Mary have D. Barbara and Julie have C. Any more? Yep. Yvonne is C. Debbie went D. Frank and Eva also went with C today.
I feel like I have to jump on the bandwagon. I will say, of the three that I narrowed it down to, C and D were a part of that.
Okay.
So, I guess we'll go with C.
C?
I was feeling B before.
Christian's going?
I'm going with C, yeah.
With C?
My old strategy there.
So we've had 21/100 of an inch this September. So if we don't get any more rain this September, this would be the all-time driest on record for Rochester, and that goes back to the early 1870s. But the answer is actually D.
Wow.
Yeah, just over a 1/4 inch.
I'm furious I lost. I'm out of here.
You know how dry it must have been, for that. And a number of factors have to come together. You get large high pressure, slow-moving weather patterns. But again, so far this month, just 21/100. So you guys ready for this picture?
Yeah, bring it on.
This is like 100% cuteness overload.
You were not wrong.
These are 6-week-old
6 weeks.
corgi pups. Oh,
They're adorable.
I bet they all love tummy tickles.
they were waiting according to the post on Chime In, they were waiting for outside time. They wanted to, said, let's go outside, and they're all standing at the edge of the bed there saying, let's go.
Yeah, let 'em
let's
out.
get these paws moving, right? No rain in the forecast next couple of days. There is a slight or subtle chance heading towards Monday, but we'll leave it dry for now. Lots of dry paws for those cute little pups. Oh, my goodness.
Perfect for the walks. Take them outside.
It is. One more look at the Bills versus Dolphins forecast. 60s tonight. It's going to be a great tailgate this afternoon and this evening. Mild and dry weather. And Josh is he jumping over those pups? What's he jumping over? Here's the update from the drought monitor. No big expansion in western New York for the moderate drought, but there was a big increase for areas off to our east. Just came down about a half hour ago. Notice that red stripe now that was through parts of New Hampshire and Maine. That has expanded greatly in size, as has the orange area, which is severe drought for parts of Vermont. A lot of people like to go up there this time of the year just for the foliage change, just do a little fall foliage tour. So this has had an impact on some of the trees, and I'll have that foliage update for you. But this is from meteorologist Scott Hetzko. Likes to have fun with the graphics sometimes.
Looks like my skin.
Let's go streaking, he
You and
says.
me both. Oh my gosh, I know.
He said this the other day because I heard it. I was walking by the studio, like, yeah, let's talk about streaking. And I'm like, I had to pop my head in.
I put together some of the all-time longest streaks without rainfall in July 1936. The tops for that at 25 straight days, almost a month in a row without rainfall. But as promised, there's the fall foliage report. Just changing for a lot of spots in western New York, but there are pockets now that are at midpoint. If you get up towards the Adirondacks, nothing near peak yet. It's still too early for that. And downstate, we're not seeing much change as well. But, you get into the southern tier, you get into Letchworth and Stony Brook, some of our parks this time of the year. And you're going to see some color this weekend. You'll see a little bit of change in some of those spots. We have 59. That's already 10 degrees warmer than where we were just 2 hours ago. West-southwest wind at 8, and lots of sunshine out there. If you look at the tree canopy out there, you're just starting to see some of the yellows, right?
Yeah.
It's not perfectly green like it was 2 months ago, but just a touch of change out there. Satellite radar is pretty clear around here. There's that storm from yesterday moving on out, and as it goes, we'll find this next cold front move in, and it's almost impossible to see it. Even on the satellite pictures, having a hard time picking out clouds with this front. Very weak, but it will have a temperature change behind it that will move in as we head towards Friday. So one thing we'll see when we wake up tomorrow and see it tomorrow morning here on ARC Rochester, we'll have a lot more cloud cover around as that front moves on through. But by tomorrow afternoon, that cloud cover roads away, and we're looking pretty good heading into the weekend. Get out the clubs. There's the golf cast. That's where Shrek is today.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's putting together the Dan Shrek Invitational, right? 80 degrees at 1 o'clock, 81 at 5 o'clock. Tonight, we'll see those numbers drop back into the 50s. Pretty typical for this time of the year under a mainly clear sky, becoming mostly cloudy late tonight. So that cloud cover will increase after midnight. But extended forecast, we'll have mild air around for Saturday. Sunday stays dry. And fall on the map right there, Monday. 80 degrees, I think it's 250 or somewhere in that range. Monday afternoon, that the autumnal equinox occurs.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The season's changing already?
They're changing fast. The summer air wants to hang on, though. So this weather pattern that we're in is going to keep us above normal for temperature next week. We're still going to see numbers in the upper 70s to near 80. So it's one of these funny things at the bus stop with the kiddos in the morning.
Yeah.
Because the kids just want to wear shorts and a T-shirt. That's all they want to wear, right? Yeah. And, it's 49 degrees at the bus stop this morning. I'm like, pal, you want to put on a coat? Or, oh, no, Dad, I'm fine,
Yeah.
I'm getting on the bus, and, by the afternoon, it'll be 81 degrees. And,
oh, it's crazy. I mean, even working here, like I'll start off with my camera gear and a jacket, and I'll start doing a shoot, and I'm like, oh, my God, sweat's pouring down my bald head. I'm like, I got to take the jacket off. It's just this push and pull back and forth this time of year.
Yeah, I had the same experience at Casa Larga yesterday. We call it wardrobe warfare, right? And,
No way.
I love that.
That is a good term for it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an interesting shoot you did, though.
Yeah, it's coming up at 9:30, talking about the drought impact. Does it have an impact on the grapes? And we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
And hey, stick around. We still have much more to come on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're once again checking in with Chris Lopez, who's helping out at the Make-A-Wish Wishathon happening today.
And don't forget, you can watch us on the go wherever you are by streaming us live over on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. ARC Rochester is back right after this. Stay there. It's back once again. The annual Make-A-Wish Wishathon of Rochester has returned, bringing the community together to help grant wishes for local children facing critical illnesses.
Yeah, the event is happening now at the main court in Eastview Mall, and every donation helps make a dream come true.
Let's go live to our Chris Lopez, who's there this morning tracking the progress. Chris, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, we have been here since roughly, I think, like 5:30 this morning, tracking the progress. Progress has been going great, but it's still an ongoing event until 6 p.m. That's when the phone lines close. Go ahead and call that number on your screen. I'm here with Claire this morning. You guys are essentially hosting this for the 4th time here at Eastview Mall. What has that partnership been like over the 4 years?
We love it. It's so important. We're just proud to be part of the community. We understand the importance of Make-A-Wish. We're just happy to be a part of it, and we're happy to give them the space.
And when people come in here, the mall opens at 10 o'clock, so we haven't seen too much traffic at all. When the mall does start to open, what does it look like? Because I've never seen it. I was here last year. We were gone at 9 o'clock.
You know what? We have a lot of shoppers that come through Eastview. A lot of people love shopping in person, so they can donate in person. So they can stop by here in Main Court, which is where people usually find Santa or the Easter Bunny, and they can donate to Make-A-Wish.
And for you guys here at Eastview Mall, how proud are you guys of Make-A-Wish to want to choose you, partnership with you guys for 4 years now? It's been going great. How proud are you guys here?
We are so proud. We're proud to be part of the community. We're proud to be a venue that people want to be at. And we understand the importance of like wishes and laughter in terms of medicine and family and kids, and we're just happy to be a part of it.
And then I have to ask you for the mall, I'm going to change subject a little bit, for the end of the year, what's it going to look like for you guys here at Eastview Mall? Shopping's going to ramp up.
We are thrilled. We're looking forward to the rest of the year. Of course, holiday shopping, but we also have a ton of new stores. We've got 4 new stores opening again before the holidays, so make sure you follow us on social.
To the people at home to call here or just simply walk here if they haven't done so yet.
Come on, it's Make-A-Wish. How can you not donate? And again, all of the money stays right here in our community. So important. We can help our neighbors and students and friends and all of the kids that live with us right here.
Thank you, Claire. Very nice to see you again. Call the number on your screen or stop in. The mall opens at 10. Make-A-Wish, they stopped taking calls at 6, I believe, so you can come in here, you can call the phone lines. Either one doesn't matter. Please contribute to this, helping kids make their wishes come true. I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio for now. Karen Edwards will be here at 5, 5:30, and 6, tracking the progress in our later shows. Back to you.
Our very own Karen Edwards.
I know. Be sure to tune in for that. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it.
And don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Arc Rochester returns, and we're stepping into the Twilight Zone for a very special upcoming celebration.
You don't want to miss it. We're back on the other side of the break. 17, and this weekend, Binghamton is honoring one of upstate New York's brightest stars, the creator of The Twilight Zone, Rod Serling.
Yeah, Serling Fest is giving attendees a closer look at the Emmy Award winner, his history, and his
Member of the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation, author Amy Boyle Johnston. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hey.
A lot to get into here. I first want to start with, where the idea from this came and what the process of putting this together was like.
Serling Fest is the presentation of the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation, where we promote the legacy and the works of Rod Serling and his impact on culture. It first started as actually Ithaca College would have a Rod Serling conference. And then when Ithaca College stopped doing that, we stepped up and we filled the role, and it's become an annual tradition.
Yeah. What can you expect there when you attend? What can you see? What can you do?
This year, it's called In His Own Words. So we're using a lot of his speeches. We're using letters that have not been made publicly, that were not shown, because we want to show the character of the man behind and his intent that's been obscured. But you'll see screenings. You'll have most of the scholars and the writers. His daughter Anne will be there giving a presentation, and we are reading speeches and showing some of his best works and some of the lesser-known ones.
And what's attendance like when people come? Is it pretty well attended, these kinds of things?
It is well attended. We're at the Forum Theater. We show showings. There's discussions, and it's just an opportunity to talk about what the works mean to us and how we grew up watching them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's the reaction like for maybe fans or maybe those with fresher eyes when it comes to The Twilight Zone?
I think for a lot of us, it's memories of watching it with our parents, and now it's watching it with our children, because it allows us to have conversations about ethics or morals or what would you do in a way that a lot of shows don't offer. They were rarely ever tied with a neat bow, so you had to resolve it yourself. And for a lot of us, we remember watching it with our parents and having conversations that we never would have had otherwise.
Yeah, there's always like a good twist or two. My favorite episode has Burgess Meredith in it, and he's some sort of banker who wants the time to read all the books in the world. There's never enough time. Then the world ends, and he's got all these books in a safe or a vault, and his glasses break.
Time enough at last.
Yeah. What a great episode. That has always stuck with me. That and then the William Shatner one with the guy on the airplane or the airplane wing.
Yes.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Time enough at last. I always liked, because you had to resolve it in your own head. It seemed uncruel, but the other part of The Twilight Zone was that for many of them, not for all, but for many of them, there was a sense of injustice. And then a sense of, how do you resolve this?
Yeah, they were ahead of their time in many respects, talking about some of those tough issues of that time period when it came to racism, things like that, representation and things of that matter.
And it was very, I would argue, existentialist. It was, what would you do in this situation? A lot of people associate Twilight Zone with the 1950s, when actually it aired October 2nd, 1959. So it's much more the 60s. It's because it was filmed in black and white that it's placed that way.
Yeah.
And was there intention behind that? Forgive me if this is a well-known fact, but that black and white, was it to kind of let the content drive forward whatever people take away from the episode?
Serling had 3 Emmys when he started Twilight Zone. He was considered one of the top-tier TV writers. So the moral intent of Serling's going to write great television was always part of it. I think it was to add to the mystique and the film noir quality. But it was intentionally chosen black and white.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Yeah, it's so good. And even original Star Trek.
Yes. And Gene Roddenberry and Rod Serling were friends.
That makes sense. That tracks.
And they had some mutual writers.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and so 1959, you've got the Eisenhower administration. You kind of go into the 60s there. Everything kind of, mixes up by like 65, 66 or so.
Yes, and Albert Camus receiving the Nobel Prize. I mean, this is the age of inquiry.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
What is it like for you to be able to have these conversations? Because as you were saying before, right now they're still very relevant, and we're talking about a lot of these same topics, facing a lot of challenges when it comes to a lot of the issues already brought up within the series there. So what is it like for you to be able to hold these open conversations?
I think it's wonderful that we're having these conversations. I think it's sad that we're still having conversations about why is there suppression of voice? Why is it that some people do not feel that they are seen? Why is it that censorship still exists? I find it sad on that end, but I'm also glad that what he wrote about were universal situations that we face time and time again. So the moment I say, oh, this is a cycle, we can look at what people did before, and we still need to be having these conversations. If there's not a resolution, then we need to be having these conversations.
So you have a deep fascination with Mr. Serling. Where does that come from? Did you watch these off and on as a kid, I would imagine? Or?
I watched them on and off as a child. When I graduated from graduate school, it was publish or perish, I was told, and it was right after September 11th. And we were being told some things about censorship and democracy and patriotism that I had written a serious book about Rod Serling at that point. And so I started to go to the archives, and I wanted to uncover behind the man. And so I started to go to the archives, I started to research, and I studied about his service in World War II. He and his wife went to Antioch College with Coretta Scott, who became Mrs. Martin Luther King Jr. And so this deep division that they tried to bridge about human rights was really timely, and unfortunately it's timely again. Yeah. So that's what started it, was September 11th. I was graduating from graduate school, and I wanted to explore the other.
Yeah, fascinating. Good starting point for all that stuff.
We are running low on time, but I want to make sure that everyone at home knows the information.
It is this weekend in Binghamton. If you go to rodserling.com, you can find all the information about it. You can also become a member of the Rod Serling Foundation. We provide a scholarship every year to a Binghamton high school student. And so even if you can't attend, you can still help us out.
For sure. And we will be sure to post that on foxrochester.com. Stick around. We have so much more to come on Arc Rochester.
We're right back after this break. Stay there.
Oh my goodness, we're getting into trouble.
Yeah, we are. These guys here. Yeah, we're a bad mixture here. Good Thursday morning. Thank you for sticking with us here on Arc Rochester. The gang is all together because it's time for this week's From the Ground Up.
Whoop.
Yeah.
I can't do it like Dan does. Yes, that's it.
All the way up.
Our resident garden guy, meteorologist Mark McLean, he's talking all about grapevines and how recent drought conditions have impacted this year's harvest.
You know, this weather has just been ideal for all recreational things going on out there, but for agriculture, it's had an impact. I mean, it's been dry. It's been much drier than normal. We just looked at some of the data back to July 1st, and this is the 4th driest stretch that we've had on record for Rochester through this date, going back to July 1st. Wow. So,
That's amazing.
It's had an impact. And we went out to Casa Larga just to check in on the grapevines to see what was going on out there. Does this have an impact on the grapes? Put the fears away. I think things are going to be okay, and we have all the info right here. Well, From the Ground Up this week is trying to pair up our drought conditions in Western New York with how that might be impacting some crops in the area. And I have the president of Casa Larga Vineyard. This is Andrea. Andrea, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your grapes. Basically just wondering if the drought that we're experiencing is impacting your grapes this year.
Yes, well, thanks for coming out. It is to a certain degree. It's interesting because grapes actually like drier climates. However, though, the ending of this season being as dry as it is, what it's doing is actually, it's for our grapes, they're actually coming in a little bit sweeter, but they're coming in smaller. So the volume of juice that's usually in the grapes or in the fruit, each berry, is actually going to be a little less. But the quality is actually going to be very high.
Okay, does it impact any specific varieties? I mean, we're standing in Rieslings here, and you have other varieties on the property. Does it impact any specific variety more or less with the dry weather?
No, not really. They're pretty much all equally, because we grow European vinifers and French American hybrids, so they all seem to do pretty well in the drier weather. My winemaker also reminded me that we are on such a high point in Monroe County that we have a lot of water below us, and vines tend to have what we call fingers. So if you can imagine, the roots are like fingers, and they will go far down into the earth to find the water. So we're fortunate that we have that ability here to be up high and have the water. We even have a well here, so we have a good amount of water.
Okay, and you were mentioning that with the crop here and the dry weather, we've had 0.2 of an inch of rain. You don't have to irrigate here.
Well, we don't irrigate because usually we don't need to irrigate. It wouldn't have meant that if we had an irrigation system this year that we wouldn't have used it, but traditionally we wouldn't install one because we don't really need the investment in the irrigation.
Okay, and along with the dry weather, we always think, in farming and agriculture, we always think disease pressure, pest pressure, that kind of thing. Does the dry weather have any real impact on that?
No, actually, it actually helps. When we get a lot of rain, usually we're battling rain more than we are a lack of rain.
Oh, yeah.
And usually when there's a lot of rain, the fruit grows the chance of mildew or of rot, and then we have to come out and spray it because then, there's more things and insects and so forth. So with the drier weather, no, it's not as much of an issue.
Okay, if we get back to a, quote, normal weather pattern, does that do anything to the crop this late in the season?
Well, my winemaker also was telling me that the dryness, the drought that we're experiencing now may not affect this crop as much as actually the concern is for next year's crop. For how will it come in? How is it going to be left at the end of the season in preparation for next year?
Okay, and you mentioned specifically like a little sweeter grape this year. Does that have an impact on the ice wines that come in way later?
Yes, well, the impact will probably be, it's already a limited amount that we get out of the berries because they're left on there to freeze. So if we're starting harvest off and the berries are small, and if you look at them, you'll see they are a little bit smaller this year. Yeah, when it comes time for ice wine, so whatever we've netted thinking we're going to get, 100 cases out of it, we maybe are going to get less because there will not be as much volume in each berry. These are Riesling, and they're beautiful. You can see the fruit itself this year it's been a great growing season, but if you notice if you could compare them to what a normal berry size is for this time of year, these are still a little small.
A little small.
But like I said, they're going to be higher in sweetness, and the winemaker decides when to pick. They're not ready yet.
Not quite there. Yeah.
And the issue is that, we'll eventually get rain here, and we just hope we don't get too much, right? Because we can go to the total opposite, and then these grapes could potentially, suck up all the water, and now we go from having small berries to have, very large wet berries that could even burst.
Wow.
So Yeah, so it's always, I mean, harvest is always the same. It's Mother Nature, it's God, you know, you never know what you're going to get. So you just learn to work around it.
Yeah. And Rochester loves you guys love Rochester. Is there any fun thing that you wanted to mention, any projects or anything in the future that you guys were getting into? I know you mentioned you might be redoing small portions of the vineyard here.
Yes, yep. We're looking at our vines. We've been here over 50 years. You know, my dad started this as a hobby. There are parts of the vineyards, you know, we've tended to them for years, and it's time to, you know, do some replanting. Some other fun things we have, we're doing some hay rides and what we're calling Come Over October, where you can come out and actually take hay rides around the vineyard and get a look at the vines. Other projects this winter, we'll have our Ice Wine Festival again, which is a lot of fun. We plan on doing a lot of renovations inside to the wine shop, so that'll be fun and unveiled on Valentine's Day, because that's when ice wine is this year.
Thank you so much, Andrea. You know, we just wanted to see the impact that drought could be having on some of the agriculture across the area. We really appreciate the time today.
Thank you very much for coming out, Mark. Appreciate it.
How cool was that?
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, you know, it does have an impact to a point. Grapes are pretty tough. They're pretty drought resistant, but you heard her talk about the ice wines, how the caseload there may be a little bit less as that harvest comes in later. So, you know, it'll still be there, but because the fruit's a little bit smaller this year, it increases the sugar content a little bit more, and, you know, that increases the sweetness. And she was talking about different ways of measuring that, and they weren't quite ready to pick the grapes just yet, but that's going to be happening soon. And that the sugar contents may be a little bit higher, but the overall yield may be a little bit lower.
That's amazing. And you know, I'm a huge fan of the ice wine.
Yep.
So to hear about the impact for later on is also really interesting. Was she saying that it's going to take more grapes to make the wine?
It will take more because there's less water content inside of each grape. And, you know, as you squeeze it down, there's just less coming out, basically. And the second part that I thought was very interesting, Andrea mentioned, was that this may impact next year's crop more than this year's crop. So that'll be something to go back, you know, maybe next year we go back and look and see, you know, how things are going. But, you know, they're tough. They've been there for 50 years. They know the ups and downs of what's going on, and they're going to get through it.
And forgive me, for next year's crop, how so? I must have missed that.
So it may just slow down next year's crop a little bit. The drought conditions from this year, like a carryover effect, almost like a hangover effect into next year.
Hangover. Good term.
Good choice of grapes. So, you know, you may see something like that. But it was great to get out. Was out there also with our newest meteorologist, Selena Ramos. She came out and she was on social media talking about the grapes, and that was a lot of fun. It was a great segment.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, you hear about the drought conditions, and for someone, if you're like far removed from agriculture, it doesn't occur to you that, hey, this is going to impact the crops for different plants. And so to see that grapes, you know, are a part of that, but it won't be as severe. We were talking about apples as well.
So that's the plan. So to go out and check the apple crop probably next week. Also the corn crop, it's had a big impact. If you checked areas, especially west of Rochester into Orleans and Genesee County, I mean, there's some of the corn didn't even tassel out in some of these spots. So you have to wonder about that. But the apple crop, you know, out at the farm in Batavia, the apples were a little bit smaller, but again, the sugar content was a little bit higher because of that same process that Andrea was describing. So kind of sweeter, but if you're making things like cider and that, you have to press more apples to get the same amount of cider that you're used to.
Not as much volume, My dad saw that with his corn too. The corn never really matured as much as it usually did. It didn't have the kernels, the moisture content. So. Yeah, just across the board.
And if you're not irrigating, if you are irrigating, but then again, that raises your cost. You have to have the irrigation systems. She talked about that too. It's just an added expense that they don't want to get into because it's rarely an issue for Western New York to go 12, 15 days without rainfall around here.
Yeah.
How are our plants looking outside?
They're doing good because of Kim. Kim is our expert waterer up in the front.
Thank you.
Kim Hawkins.
Kim up front, yes.
She's growing a green thumb, she's telling me. And things are going, I mean, it's the end of the season now. So our sunflowers are just opening. Everyone else is open 6 weeks ago because we were about 6 weeks behind at the start of the project. So everything is looking good, but it's fun to see them opening this time of the year.
Well, what little break spot out there. It's really nice. People are utilizing that more and more.
Yes.
It's a huge hit.
The rocking chairs, and it's nice. It's a nice spot to just chill out.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you
You
so
got the
much.
barrier around the outside, so you can kind of hide under.
And you jump out here if you want.
The weather's been quiet
Take a
enough to
nap.
enjoy it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Marty again. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Mark. Really
Yeah.
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys. Don't go far. We still have much more here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're getting a bit magical this Thursday morning.
Don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. ARC Rochester returns after this. The Rochester Fringe Festival is heading into its final weekend, and some performances are getting ready for their curtain calls. And one act is combining comedy with the magic of Harry Potter.
Barry Potter and the Magic of Wizardry has one show left this weekend, and this morning we're getting a closer look at the act with the man himself, Mr. Barry Potter.
G'day.
Good day, good morning. How are you? How do you do, sir?
Oh, brilliant. Thanks for asking.
So I take it you're a bit of a fan of the Harry Potter series.
Harry who?
Oh, it's okay. You're Barry Potter. There we go. So, talk about Barry.
You might have heard of my more famous cousin, Gary Potter.
Gary Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are saying that Barry, you might have heard of Harry Potter. He is unfortunately a fictional character. You might have heard that his story was based on my life. I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying it wasn't. But people are talking, right?
Of course.
So, what's your story then, Barry Potter?
As I said, I had a traumatic experience with a dark wizard. I don't like to talk about it, but I'll be telling that story at 1:30 this Saturday at the JCC Community Center here in Rochester.
Amazing. Well, tell us a little bit about what people can expect when they come to see you.
It's very emotional. Sometimes it really chokes me up. There's a combination of magic theme and magic content, which I think, The actor who plays me was a magician for a long, long, long time, doing many, many shows. And people always used to ask him about Harry Potter, right? And having never really explored it himself in the third person, he found that over the years, finally he caved in and said, oh, why don't I just explore it the way the people want to see it? So that I'm, rather than, trying to bring them to me, I'm coming to them.
Oh, cool.
That's great.
Oh, cool. So it's one act left, right?
So one show left. This show has done very well. It's sold out the entire month in Edinburgh Fringe, the world's largest fringe festival, and Adelaide Fringe, second largest, blah, blah, blah. Many, many places. This is its final show, both here in Rochester and here in the United States.
Amazing. Barry, we have to know about how you sort of found your way with magic, how you grew into magic.
Good Lord. I always just liked it as a little kid, to be honest. I was always fascinated. Once again, the actor who plays me, Tim Motley, he had an encounter with a old vaudeville clown when he was a kid, and went at Saturday school, and went from there. Read a lot of books, practiced a lot, performed in 53 countries, and keeps on trucking,
53 countries.
Several characters. This is obviously one of them.
Yeah. What's the reception in Rochester been like?
Pretty good. So it's new, so people don't necessarily have known about it, but the house has been pretty good, and the reception's been great. They love it. And I also have another, the actor who plays me has another show going in a different character for adults. This is quite a family show, obviously. And the other one is very, very adult, and that is called Two Magic Rubies, One Private Eye. And that is a film noir detective character, which has had previous shows in that character at this Fringe. And that one's been selling out. There's 2 left of that, one tonight at 8 p.m. and one also Saturday at 4 something, I don't know.
An adult show.
Very adult, yes.
Very adult. What do you mean by very adult?
I mean, it has some very blue material.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
I'm sure.
And it's, film noir is a kind of an adult genre. Right?
Yeah, it is very much so, very much
For
so.
sure. And this isn't your first time at the Fringe, but is this Barry's first?
This is Barry's first time at the Fringe, at Rochester Fringe, I should say. And first time at Rochester, first time in New York State, first time in, let's see, I believe all of New England, yes.
That is amazing.
Specify there. Yes, has played in Orlando before and a few other places in the States, but yeah, first time here in this part of the country, absolutely. Premiered in Perth in Australia, it's toured around Australia, Canada, UK, New Zealand, a whole bunch of places. It had a hit season in Canada last summer.
Nice.
And we do want to see some magic tricks, but I think that's after the break.
Yeah. So you'll want to stick around for that. We've got so much more to come here on Arc Rochester. We're going to have some magic from Barry Potter. You want to stick around for that.
We're back right after this. Stay tuned. We are back now with more from comedian and magician Barry Potter, who is getting ready to take the stage this Saturday in his final performance of Barry Potter and the Magic of Wizardry.
Yeah, so I know you've got some tricks up your sleeve for us.
Oh, shucks.
Let's get started.
Well, as it happens, this, as you might be familiar with, is a snitch.
Yeah.
It's a type of ball used in the wizard game of Quidditch. Mine is currently disguised as a bit of gold foil from Dollar Tree. Now, if I were to, for example, take the snitch, put it in one of my hands, if you had to guess, Stephannie, right?
Yes.
If you had to guess which hand it's in, which hand would you guess?
The wrong one, probably. But I want to say it's that one.
Well, and it would be the wrong one. So it's a bit tricky, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to make it easier. I'm going to let you do the thing and me do the guessing. If you wouldn't mind standing up for a moment, is that all right? Thank you so much.
All right.
Take the snitch, right? And we're going to play this game 4 times, okay? If you fool me even one time out of the 4, you get the contents of this bag of mystery.
Okay.
Right? If, however, you fail to fool me in any way, we just carry on with the show as if nothing happened. Does that sound fair?
That sounds great.
Okay. Hands behind the back, please.
All right.
Put that snitch in either hand, whichever hand feels right to you, and then back out in front. Oh, you're thinking so hard. I can see the blood vessel on your forehead pulsing. Okay, good.
That's actually new. Okay.
Front. That's great. A little bit further apart, if you don't mind. Now, when I try to read someone using legilimency, what the muggles call telepathy, there's a lot of subtle cues I'm looking for. It's an art that's not black and white. If it's this hand, think black. This hand, think white. Not out loud, just in your head, please.
Okay.
Okay? White, black, black, white. Okay, this first time, honestly, I don't even need to use a spell, because I can see quite clearly, if you look closely.
Oh my God!
This hand is slightly lower than that hand. Oh, it's peeking out the side?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
I couldn't actually see that from this angle, only from that angle. But yes, it is peeking out the side. I think it's a hand we called white. Open up. And that's
there it
one.
is.
All right, very good. Let's try that again. You're doing great, okay?
Okay.
Hands behind the back.
All right.
Once could be luck, twice coincidence, 3 times a pattern, 4 times minor miracle. And back out in front.
All right.
You're thinking so hard now. I can see the whole tension in your body. A little bit further apart, lovely. Now, Stephannie, I got to say your hair is looking fantastic today. I love the kind of combination of
brown and black and
the plaits and then below it's all free form.
Curly.
It's very, very fluffy down there, despite the weather. If this hand, I want you to think. Sorry, this hand think fluffy. This hand think smooth. Okay. Smooth, fluffy, fluffy, smooth.
Okay.
Oh, it's a little trickier this time. I'm going to have to use a spell. This is my wand. I made a piece of J.K. Dowling. You're welcome. Keep the hands closed.
Okay.
And Revelio. Okay, it's a little easier this time. If you look at her feet, you'll notice this foot's very straight. This foot is pointed out to one, very unusual, splayed to the inside in this direction towards this hand, the hand we called Fluffy. Open up. And that's 2.
Oh my gosh.
I know. There we go.
I really tried to hide it this time too,
You're
guys.
doing great. Okay,
right.
Awesome.
Behind the back, either hand. Now, this is no ordinary show. Not only is it my first time here on Fox Rochester, it is also my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, right on.
Hands out in front.
All right.
Okay, very nice. A little bit further apart. This hand think. Actually, don't think birthday. Very narcissistic of me. Just say the names of other holidays. Free form. Just whatever comes to mind.
Halloween.
Grandparents' Day.
That's not a day.
Labor Day.
Yeah, keep going.
Arbor Day.
Columbus Day.
Oh, that's
Wow, you guys are obscure.
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
We're gonna go with some
4th of July.
Okay, we're gonna go with some bigger hits, I think, today.
President's Day.
This hand, think Easter. This hand, think Christmas.
Oh,
okay?
those are good ones.
I like those. Yeah,
Okay.
solid choices.
Christmas, Easter, Easter, Christmas. And Revelio. Okay, a few things going on. First of all, your head is on a bit of a tilt. Your nose is leading your face towards the Easter hand as well. That hand is a bit lower, as if it's psychologically heavier, as if it contains something, and your entire body language shifted ever so slightly in that direction towards the Easter hand. But that's 3 tells to 1 hand. And 3 tells to 1 hand at this stage of the game tells me that Stephannie is learning, and she's smart, and is in deliberate bluff and a misdirection confirmed by these smiles she's trying to conceal on her face. And there's actually, back in the other hand, the Christmas hand. Open up. Boom.
Oh.
And that's 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, thanks.
got it.
There we go. Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Behind the back, one final time for all the
Okay.
marbles and the bag of mystery.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I'm gonna
What
get the
what a
bag.
fabulous looking bag.
Good looking bag.
Oh, God.
Like Johnny
Final hand,
Appleseed.
Final time.
Okay.
Back out in front. You're thinking so hard now. Okay, there we go. A little bit further apart. Lovely. Just so we can differentiate between the two. Okay, very nice. Now, this time the way you're concealing your tells, you're getting better every time. The way you're concealing your tells is very smart, very wise. Free-form association. Again, names things that are wise.
Christian Garzone.
He said himself.
Potato
Wise.
But wise potato chip is wise. Yeah, you can heckle it. Things that are wise. Things that are wise. Who? What?
Gandhi. Or things.
Owls.
Here we
An
go.
owl.
Owls
Oh,
and
that's
Gandhi.
good.
I'll take it. This hand, think Gandhi. This hand, think owl. Owl, Gandhi, Gandhi, owl. Here we go. And Revelio. Oh, I got nothing. Honestly, Stephannie, the way you're playing this game, it belies a level of experience that you could not possibly have. May I ask, how old? I would never ask a lady her age. That'd be rude. How much do you weigh? It's a joke, it's a joke. I said the joke, you laughed, your whole body moved ever so slightly with a laugh, including the Gandhi arm here. The owl hand, however, is rock solid. The knuckles are white and tight. Look at that. Open up.
Oh.
Boom. And that's 4.
Wow.
Now,
I tried.
hold on. I know you didn't win there, but
At all.
I don't want you to go home empty-handed.
Appreciate it.
Also, can I just verify that you had a free choice at every stage of that game, correct?
Yeah.
I didn't force you one hand or the other?
No.
It was your own agency?
Yeah.
You chose the hand we called White, the hand we called Fluffy, the hand we called Christmas, the hand we called Owl, correct?
Yes, yeah.
You switched it a couple times as well.
Yes, I did.
Interesting. Because here in the bag of mystery, can you verify that there is only one object in the bag, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And it is a white, fluffy Christmas owl.
Oh,
wow.
That's amazing. Yeah. What? There's no way. Yeah.
Harry
there's
Potter.
no way he would have known.
Ah, that's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you look at that?
Oh, Hedwig, you're a Dumbledorable.
And just in time, because we are now out of time.
All right.
Thank you so much, Barry. That was amazing. Round
Yes,
of
sir.
applause for Barry.
Find it at rochesterfringe.com.
Yeah. All right. And we will have more information on our website about Barry on foxrochester.com.
We're back after this. Stay tuned.
Time for our final thoughts. And really
was fun.
quickly, yeah.
It was really fun.
It was a cool trip,
Yeah.
I'd have to say. Yeah.
Even from an sort of outsider looking in,
Yeah.
that was quite the process to see how he was reading your body language. It was
Yeah.
Just to guess, that
I
was
know.
pretty cool.
Hey, let's do more news.
Exactly.
Right.
Barry Potter was great. We'll have him on FoxRochester.com. We also have more news coming up. 13 WHAM News at midday. I'll see you then, and so will Mark.
Yep.